airports.
my God.
And then,
Economic.
those whom nature has.
All right, guys, welcome back again. So today we're going to be diving into Tom Brokaw explains Canada to Americans. Okay, I guess this is I don't know Tom Brokaw, his origin, so I feel like he's trying to explain Canadians to the American people. So let's see it from his own point of view. So let's dive in.
We're the westernmost edge of the U.S.-Canadian border, 30 miles south of the Olympic City, between Blaine and Washington State, and Surrey, British Columbia. This was dedicated in 1921 to commemorate the treaty that ended the War of 18...
What does that mean? Like British Columbia?
Is Colombia not another country?
Yeah. They speak Spanish, I guess. I think Colombia speaks Spanish. So the British Columbia. Okay.
12 between the U.S. and Great Britain. Remember, Canada was a British colony. That was a long time ago, but the inscription on the arch sums up the relationship. May these gates never be closed. We share more than a long border, of course. No dotted line can divide our joint stewardship of a treasure of natural riches. From the Atlantic to the Pacific, and back again. Shorelines, wild rivers, and Great Lakes, vast forests and grasslands, precious ores buried in majestic mountains, and wildlife everywhere, from sea to shining sea. Canada and the United States share another unique quality. They're immigrant nations, destinations for people around the world who long for political freedoms, economic opportunity, and a long tradition of compassion.
Let me use my country as an example. Anytime you hear someone saying that they're trying to escape this country, God, did I use the word escape?
Actually, escape. Anybody's living in my country is escaping because you want a better opportunity and every other thing.
So there are mostly two common countries you hear them talk about, which is going to the US or going to Canada.
Or the UK.
But like the prominent one in this place here is either Canada.
Especially when you're going for studies.
Exactly.
I guess Canada have good schools. Because everybody, when you want to study a course, Canada is the best option.
And they're immigrant friendly, though.
Yeah.
If we're going to actually be truthful about it, I think it's way easier for people to actually go to Canada than the US.
Actually, Canada
for educational purposes, though.
For educational purposes, it's easier to get a scholarship or admission in Canada than the US.
I have a friend, I think after around 2018, 2019, thereabouts, he actually tried to apply to the US. One school in the US, it was very, it got rejected. It's not even the school, about the school. I don't think he has gotten to the level of the school. But there are procedures to, they kept rejecting him. But I think he only did it once, trying to Canada. He just, everything went. That's good. So, like, there are simplicity to that, though, you understand? And I feel like the American people should work on that, because I know to some nation, they don't want immigrants, you understand? Like I said, it's everybody's preference.
Yeah.
Because there are some certain kind of immigration we are suffering here as well. And to be frank and honest, there are some certain things, they are spoiling my country. But I don't want to dive into that topic because it's a very toxic topic over here. So let's keep that and focus on this. Thanks to Raycon for sponsoring this video. Raycon earbuds are my everyday essentials. And not only are these earbuds equipped with active noise cancelling, they are also water resistant, dust proof, and has a very strong battery life that lasts up to 32 hours when fully charged. Even if you charge it for just 10 minutes, you get up to 90 minutes usage of battery life. This blew my mind when I discovered that this comes with a multi-point connectivity that allows me to connect to two devices at once. Can you imagine the possibilities? Sorry guys, excuse me. I got a call. Hello, Dad. Happy Father's Day. Yeah. I love you too, Dad. Bye. Sorry about that. But with Raycon earbud, you're just a touch away from that special call and your favorite songs. It is touch sensitive. I can't believe with all these features, the Raycon earbud is still budget friendly. In order to celebrate Father's Day, Raycon is offering a 15% off sales. All you have to do is click on the link below in my description box or go to buyraycon.com/xxx. Purchase any color of your choice to match your beautiful outfits. And do not forget to check this out and drop your reviews.
Our two nations have the largest trading relationship in the world. $1.5 billion transacted every day. The two-way trade at the Ambassador Bridge between Detroit and Windsor alone equals all American exports to Japan. And we're so comfortable as neighbors. 200 million people cross the common border every year. Canada, some may be surprised to learn, is America's largest oil supplier. And the United States is Canada's #1 tourist destination. In a snapshot, Canada is a huge country, second largest in the world next to Russia. But its population is only about a tenth the size of the United States.
The whole northern part of the like USA is the south, and Canada is the north. So the full north up is Canada, nothing else.
Wow. I didn't know that before. This is why educative videos are very important.
Oh, do you notice what I'm saying?
What was that?
On this geographical maps section, you can see the USA. Like I'm guessing all these are states. States. But look at Canada states. How many states do you have in Canada?
It's not much.
But it's so big.
So big.
Why will it stay big? It's big. It's so big.
It's so huge.
Wow. This portion
Just look at this one.
Just this one. This is a full country. Like, I kid you not, this is a full country right here. Wow.
4 million, split into 10 provinces and 3 territories. 90% of Canadians live within 100 miles of the U.S. border, residing in world-class cities, thriving farms and smaller towns. With good reason. Life in the Canadian North is only for the hardy. It is remote and oh so cold. The coldest day ever recorded in North America occurred in 1947 in Snag, Yukon.
Like the US citizens say, once go north, it gets cold. So imagine the Canadians that live in the north.
Exactly.
So the more you go, the more north you go, the more cold. There's polar bear there. Nah, this just has to be like the North Pole cold.
Is this not the bear that they say kills more humans in a year? Like,
I don't think so. I think where the polar bear is, this like humans are not even there. The North Pole, Antarctica.
I doubt, because the history I read about this polar bear, I don't know if
I think I'm missing it for the brown bear or the grizzly. Grizzly bear is the brown bear, right?
I'm not. What do you call people that are into animal?
I
don't know their name, but I'm not an expert in animal. But like,
I think I'm missing it up.
I'm staying away from this beast.
Minus 81 degrees, not including wind chill.
It's 1 degree.
Jesse the Sponge.
Canadians are so generous, they share with us their brightest stars in music, comedy, acting, sports, and journalism. And if you're in a fight, you want the Canadians on your side. They were in World War II before we were.
Really?
They were there on D-Day, in the air and on the beaches. They've been America's most reliable partners in Afghanistan, and it's been costly and painful. Now,
if from all these things, they have actually been
around for a long time.
Around and a very huge ally to the Americans. So what is the essence of the beef?
Yeah, the whole US-American banter,
Like,
so.
I'm not getting it. Like, I'm confused. They were there on the D-Day. They were there in the World War One and the World War Two. They actually said they were even there first. Like, which means, why the whole world was still deciding to enter the war. They were already in it, helping and fighting. And from what I read recently, there was a video I have been recommended to go and check out, and I'm still working, because the video is very lengthy, so I'm still, trying to find ways to, yeah. The video is about 9/11 Operation Yellow Rainbow.
Okay.
And according to what one of my families told me on the comment section, he said that this is was actually how the Canadians helped the US during the 9/11.
But before now, right, before this whole, I'm getting about this whole beef, I used to think that Canada is USA number one higher. Like the
There was a
person
video
you
I did
call
in
when
the
you
USA
help,
that where I even
exactly.
talked about it, that I said that no country can ever invade the USA because it is friends with its neighboring countries. Like it has made allies, so there is no
Where you can
way you
penetrate.
can penetrate. So I don't understand the essence of the beef, though. That is for me. Like you guys are more.
When Canada loses a warrior in that distant
as
land,
allies.
the nation pauses and honors the fallen along what is called the Highway of Heroes outside of Toronto. Even their diplomats have been there for us. In 1980, a year before the conclusion of the Iranian hostage crisis, 6 American embassy personnel would escape from Iran in an operation organized by Canadian Ambassador Ken Taylor.
The United States is thanking Canada for rescuing those 6 American diplomats from Iran.
Taylor hid the Americans after the U.S. Embassy was stormed, created fake Canadian passports, then flew the Americans out of Tehran with a bogus cover story. The 6 in disguise as a mod-looking Hollywood film crew, allegedly researching a prospective sci-fi flick. Now, all these years later, Taylor has admitted he was formerly working for the CIA. And if the Iranians had discovered he was an American spy, he would have been in big, big trouble. In our darkest hours, Canada has been with us. On September 11th, as the United States shut down its airspace, Canada instituted Operation Yellow Ribbon, landing 239 U.S.-bound flights with 33,000 passengers at 17 different Canadian airports. And then, amid the uncertainty that followed, entire communities housed and fed those thousands of passengers for days afterward. Of course, there are some distinct differences in the culture. The American fans at these games will be unfurling their stars and stripes at every opportunity and chanting USA, USA. The Canadian Prime Minister had to go before Parliament yesterday and urge Canadians to engage in what he called an uncharacteristic outburst of patriotism, saying, don't be afraid to wave those flags. We'll apologize to the world for our immodesty later. So that's a big difference, Al.
He hopes he has to do it very often. You know what struck me in that piece among all of the items? There are more people in California than there are in all of Canada.
Well, and Canada has a stronger and more sound economy at this point as well. That's a distinctive difference between the two.
Perfectly put. Thank you, Tom. See you during the week.
I feel they're better as allies than enemies. Like
There is no
they gain
argument.
more of them, each of them being allies and enemies. Like perfect.
There is no argument there from me. There is no argument there from me. Like they were literally each other's backbone, and they were stronger together
than apart.
So for me, I feel like make peace. I don't know. I will not like use the word make peace because I don't feel like they're at war. But you know,
but they're having some bad blood.
Exactly.
Like,
so just like the video says, the Canadians have actually been there for the Americans, you know, for every single one of their crises. What actually melted my heart was when they said that during that yellow ribbon, they even gave me a spoiler alert. I don't really like spoiler alerts because I'll not be expecting it. They said that they flew thousands of planes, you know, to, you know, will I use the word rescue or to transport the American people And most of these American people, you know, they housed them for days. They fed them for days. Come on. I don't think that anything should actually be able to spoil this good relationship that is between these two nations. That is my own honest opinion. If actually we have the opportunity to, you know, to have a great neighbor such as the way the both of you have each other as neighbors, I don't think we're going to ever let that go bad. So, but that is our own 2 cents about it, though. Well, thank you for sticking around to this part. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. We'll see you guys on our next video. And remember, our live will be coming up this Saturday or the next week Saturday. Whichever way, we're going to inform you days ahead. Thank you, and see you on our next one.
Bye.